Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Coach Anthony with Facilitate the Process. And tonight we're going to go a different route instead of talking about the recruiting process itself, right? Um, we're going to pretty much talk about things that are involved in the recruiting process that many people don't talk about. So a lot of times I get asked, what can we do to help ourselves in the recruiting process? Well, let's go differently here. Let's talk about the things that you can avoid. Think that is a better way to get you to understand how to help yourself. And you'll see what I mean in a few seconds. So, with the recruiting process, there's a lot of responsibility, not only on the student athlete, but the parent and the coaches, right? And the entire athletic program, wherever the student athlete may be. And what we've seen over the years after compiling some of the information and research is there are common mistakes that student athletes make all over the country, all over the world, to be if we're going to be um, really factual about it. And it's always some of the same mistakes. And some of these mistakes are actually, you know, they could be geographic or whatever, right? Um, but a lot of people want to put it to one particular or two particular demographics. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you at least three of those common mistakes. And what we affectionately like to call them are six-figure athletic recruiting mistakes. And the reason why we call them six-figure athletic recruiting mistakes is because, yes, you've guessed it, pretty much every athletic scholarship or any of the scholarships, it's a six-figure deal with school, right? Um, the cost. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So in our guide for student athletes to avoid common athletic recruiting mistakes, which if you inbox me or DM, I'll make sure that you get this list of 10. I have a list of 10 right now, and we have more. But if you inbox or DM me at the end of this, I'll make sure that you get this. So, number one, and these are not in any particular order or order of importance, neglecting academics. So, how we're going to set this up for you here, it's a little bit different than what we would normally do. We're going to give you what you want to avoid. We're going to give you an action, and we're going to give you a why. And we're going to, we're giving it to you an our opinion, and we're going to make this as probably about as hopefully as simple as we possibly can do it. So, as you said, neglecting academics, that's what you want to avoid, right? Your action, maintain a strong GPA throughout high school. Your why, eligibility requirements often have GPA minimums. Higher GPAs also make you more attractive to colleges academically. So, the reason why that's extremely important is because you can go to a school, let's say it's a NCAA D2 school, where they may give you a partial scholarship. Some of that can come from the academic side, some of that can come from the athletic side, and you can cover that six figures. Hint, hint, right? So that's why that's important. Poor social media presence. This is something that we talk about year in, year out, and it continues to happen. And we want to know sometimes the parents aren't even listening, right? Because we watch them act up at a lot of these student athletes, the games, and then that stuff is posted on social media. But nonetheless, this is more about the student athlete and them cleansing or sanitizing their social media. The action, clean up existing profiles, ensure all content is professional. Let's let's be real here. We're dealing with teenagers. Things are going to happen, right? But here's a suggestion. Why can't you just make a clean, professional social media page, maybe, right? Um, that you're going to use for recruiting. That's not to say that that other page won't pop up somewhere, right? We don't have all the answers, but that's just a different thing that you can do is to actually have a social media presence that is cleansed. You want to make it professional. You want it to be where someone can look at it and actually say, hey, this is a high character kid. And your why, Coaches often check social media to learn about recruits. Inappropriate content can harm your reputation. Yes, your teenager has a reputation, whether it be good or bad, whether they wash their laundry, whether they don't wash dishes. They do have a reputation outside of the home due to their social media because of athletics. All right. So the last one I want to give you for tonight is lack of communication. This is huge. Once again, we have teenagers, right? Our teenagers will communicate with everyone, sometimes but the parents, right? Um, but sometimes they won't communicate with the coaches that are reaching out to them to give them a six-figure scholarship. So here's our action. Respond promptly to emails and calls from coaches. And I want to include text in that as well. And a lot of coaches, they will do that. They'll text and things like that. But student athlete has to respond. They respond to everything else. They need to respond to those. Why? Timely communication shows interest and respect, crucial in building relationships with coaches. Well, there it is. Those are three things to avoid, the reactions, and why it needs to be done in a particular way, so that your student athlete can avoid the six-figure athletic recruiting mistake. Hope that these three were very, very, very helpful. And as I said, if you DM me or inbox me, I will make sure that you get the 10 that we have set up right now. And we hope that you enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can inbox and DM me those questions as well.